So there are going to be times when you do want to listen to children as they read. And a key thing to remember when you're listening to children read is that it is a distinctly different skill from reading to themselves. In fact, children, if you really test them on this, they will quite frequently read silently to themselves and answer comprehension questions at 1 or 2 grade levels higher than they do at reading aloud. It's hard to do. You have to anticipate, you have to think ahead, there's a lot more processing going on. So keep that in mind when you are listening to children read, that it doesn't necessarily adequately display their reading level because it is such a different skill. However, it can still be useful. It can help you sort of unpack some issues children might be having if you do on occasion listen to them read. So as you listen to them read, what I encourage you to do is ask a child, go choose a book on the shelf, and I thought we'd take a look at it together. We could read it together. Find one you can read. And as the child is reading to you, you're going to have split-second opportunities to offer some support or some mini lessons or other things to the child as they're reading. For example, a child may stumble over a word, and you will decide whether the child just needs some time to figure it out or whether you offer some guidance to the child to help sound out that word. A child might stumble over a word they don't know or don't recognize the vocabulary. So then you may decide to give them an explanation for that. If children are really emerging readers and they're doing a lot of sounding out, if they're stumbling every second or third word, this might be a text that's too hard for them. And when that happens, I would say something like, there's this other book on the shelf I've been really interested in reading. Do you think we could take a break from this one and go choose this other one I've been, had my eye on? When we do that, then you go over to the shelf and you choose a slightly easier book for the child to read. All of this has to be done based on your relationship with the child and split-second decisions as you listen to them read. Another helpful way to read aloud, to have a child read aloud to you, is something called mirror reading. And that's where you might read a page and the child reads the exact same page after you, so that the child hears the words and sees them, and that helps them be ready to do the reading. That's a really useful strategy for listening to a child read at times. So of course, build a culture of this in your classroom a little bit, especially emerging readers, but even your older readers, that they read aloud to you on occasion, and build a relationship of support and trust. And always know that what you hear when a child's reading aloud to you doesn't have to be fixed right then and there. You can just file that information away for, another lesson that you might give to them in the future. Because of course, you always want this relationship and this excitement about reading to stay present. You don't ever want children to feel scared of reading to you or frustrated or anything like that. So the second something like that's happening, you need to make it fun again so that you have a relationship around reading that is one of joy and excitement.